Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second game in the Ghostie versus Nande series of the Yugotational, and I'm here with Faust,
Heyo!
and we're going to bring you this game on Plunging Valley. So, what are your thoughts on this map, Faust?
Plunging Valley, I think, is an old classic. Everyone loves plunging. I don't think I've ever met anyone who dislikes plunging. I think most can agree it's probably the most balanced map in the entire pool right now. So yeah, probably interesting to see two new decks on a very, very old map. We do have both players playing on Taunt this time, so Ghostie switching out from his NATO deck that it was using in the first game. I think maybe this is something in regards to the map. Of course, Nuclear is a fairly decent map for motorized, especially on the side that he was in, but for plunging, some heavier fare could very well be necessary.
Well, I do feel that on Nuclear Winter is, in my mind, probably the best 1v1 map in the rank pool, at least for motorized, maybe. Um, Maybe Punch Bowl as well is quite good if you get into Bravo quickly, but yeah, so I'm kind of happy to see him change up here. I think it's definitely better to go with some heavier armor, like you mentioned. And I'm really interested to see what happens, because on this map you've got a few things that can happen. You either contest the middle, and then you take your natural one-pointer, they take their natural one-pointer, and then you just try and push each other out, that sort of thing. A lot of people will try to contest the one-pointers, but what I really like to see is when you go straight for the enemy two-pointer, because on this map they're actually very close together. There's just a small forest with a few buildings in between Delta and Alpha.
Well, it
So,
depends, right? Because in my experience, going for the Alpha 2-pointer straight off from blue side has always ended in absolute failure. Because the problem is the town side defenses from Alpha is just perfectly covered by the forest, and you just the other one point is so close that your enemy has so much time to react while you push in. Whereas if you push Delta, you have all this natural forest cover to move up into, and it's just a lot easier in my experience. So going for Delta is plausible, and it's something I did a lot when I was in my earlier days. But I think Alpha is very, very unplausible. And honestly, even going Delta straight off is kind of bad. What you see a lot of people do, and I think the best push for the two-pointer as red side is to go between the forest of Delta and Foxtrot as your opening push. That way you have 80 gems set up in Foxtrot, and then you just push to the northwest side of that, because blue side generally deploys to push Foxtrot, so it's kind of two birds with one stone. You take the forest, and then you stop the push, so it's a bit of a double whammy though, but of course it's a bit of a high risk thing, since you're attacking through open field into forest, so if your opponent opens defensive there, it can be a real nightmare.
that's true. I mean, I've had quite a few games because that is what I tend to see is people go for that push just below Delta if they're on the red side. Because once you secure that, then again, like you mentioned, it's very easy to either thrust into Foxtrot or Delta, and really mess with the enemy reinforcements too. Um, that being said, we've got some pretty interesting deployments. Because if you have a look on Nando's side here, he's really sending a bit of everything everywhere. He doesn't look like he's sending anything into one specific place. And on the other
Does start
side,
with a lot of MI-17s though. 4 MI-17s straight off the bat.
yeah,
All with recon squads. I'm imagining these are probably special only. I'll pronounce it once for right for once in my life. Yeah, it does look like he's going fairly heavier into Bravo rather than South, but this is a very strange opening, like you said.
I mean, I don't know. It looks like he's going to try and get this Bravo forest because once you get the forest on the left side of Bravo, it does give you a nice sort of springboard into Delta. But I think that taking the forest on the south is just all around a better option if you're going to go for kind of a push like that. So I'm interested to see what happens. But this is very risky though because all it would take is Ghosty to start with one AA helo. I know, Nande obviously knows that he's playing on taunt, so he doesn't really have the best AA helos, but still a big risk to take because that is a ton of points invested.
Hell, even a Hind would clean these up because he's got nothing really new. This is totally unnecessary though, because if you just deployed wheeled ground transports, you actually get there around the same time. I mean, no, you get there later, but I mean, you get there around the same time Blue does anyway. So it's not like he's really gaining much by dropping helos.
I mean, he gets the MI-17s, I suppose, but yeah, this is interesting. I mean, Ghosty, this is kind of strange. He's brought this Moderna and this
Two
just
Madonas,
that's
yeah.
yeah, two Modernas. But now he's decided he doesn't want them there. Maybe that was a misdeployment. It's very
No,
strange
because
from Ghosty.
it's actually Ghostie's open strangely here because he has two Madonnas, but he barely has any infantry to actually screen for them. And it does look like I think he was going to kind of stop the Bravo push, but he's not actually going into the Bravo forest, and he's completely given up the town to the south side of Bravo. So I don't understand what he's going for here. I'm not really sure what he's trying to achieve. Nande's defenses in Foxtrot are going to be fine since Ghosty hasn't pushed there. 74 is kind of wasted here right now, but he can't really move it away since he doesn't know what's in the forest side of Delta, I guess. These MI-17s could get a lot of work done if this OSA AK isn't spot on, though.
I mean, looks like we got a clown game on our hands here, Faust. This is some interesting. Look how close those Modernas are to each other. They're right behind each
Everything
other.
with Ghosty is a clown game.
Yeah, definitely so. No one's pushing in this middle side. The bottom side is pretty
Look at
empty
the smoke,
too.
though. What the fuck is this?
I just
Saab
don't
getting
know.
hit by the M84 too. The smoke is amazing. The special linear just sitting there waiting. It's like the Jaws theme needs to start playing here for
Dun
these
dun
Madons.
dun 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 dun. The Mi-17s are coming in.
Mi-17s coming through. They're gonna overwhelm the Osa if he's not careful. Actually, they're firing on the Madonnas. What the heck? Come on, he needs to fire on the Osa AK.
He's just letting it kill them.
The MLG strats, the Osa AK, is out of ammo, so now if an 80 gem plane comes through, the Madonnas are defenseless.
Genius from Nande. I never thought I'd see something like this. He does have a super collab. Yeah. I mean, he's gonna lose one of these. Surely that low health one has to go down. Oh, it goes for the other one. He does get one. But the net result of this though.
Out of ammo, and look, the Mi-17's kind of worked out, like in a strange way, right?
Genius.
Madonna's pushing up with the M84, but there's no infantry to speak of to screen for this. This could go really, really badly if one of Specialini moves down south here.
It really could do. I mean, the Specialny, they only have 20 AP, but if you sideshot that, it doesn't really matter what the AP is.
I think Ghosty is feeling a bit of Zugzwang right now. He lost a Madonna, he didn't kill the Super Gallop, he lost all his infantry, he kind of feels a compulsion to get something out of this. And
oh the crit.
It's moving into the Specialini, it's on attack move. Oh my god, it's gonna go down.
Ghosty, why? Oh, Ghosty. I thought you were better than this, Ghosty.
One more shot from the special. Oh my god.
Oh, it escapes on 1 HP.
Another shot.
Oh my, it goes down.
Out of ammo. And then this M84 is gonna get sideshot. Oh, narrowly avoids the sideshot. And the M84 is gonna clear the forest.
It's okay. Ghosty. Ghosty's gone. He's in. Oh, the Galeb though. Oh, it doesn't actually hit anything.
Completely.
Yeah. Then the bottom side, Nande is putting a push of his own on. Yeah, he's bringing those Padabranchis in.
That's not really enough. The Greyhound, the OT, the Padabranci probably can't make it in with the Proletary guarding the town like this. And Ghosty's calling in his own MI-17s now, now that the Strela's gone.
Well, I mean, Ghosty's gonna secure Bravo, but at what cost? All those poor Czech lives lost. I'm not convinced that was quite worth it, really.
2 Madonnas down. He has 1 left and 2 Vihors. He's lost half his super heavies already. And Nanda actually has a Padabranci in Delta, which is completely open, actually.
I think if I were Nande, I'd be surprised I got that far, because I don't think I've ever played a game where I could just walk a Padabranci squad into Delta from red side. This is a strange game. This is a really strange game.
I think both players don't really understand what's happening right now. Nande calls in a 2 stack of M84s. Ghosty's coming in with the Mi-17s. I mean, he's gonna get into Bravo, but I don't think he meant to lose 2 super heavies to get into Bravo.
I feel like he probably didn't. Again, I know Nande doesn't know it, and I know that if I were in his position I would never do this, because you always expect it, but like, he could actually walk all the way through Delta. It's so ludicrous that there's nothing there, that no one would even try to go through there. Is this some kind of great mind game from Ghosty, do you think?
I don't know, maybe.
Because I'm not convinced it is. Nande he is going to get this bottom town though in Foxtrot, so that's quite a nice pickup for him.
It's just weird. Now, the Patabransi and Delta I kind of understand, right? Just having them there, knowing you have this side of the forest, there's definitely some good value in that, I think. Galeb might go down to the south and they also AK. That would be a big loss for Nande. Oh,
Does
gets out
just
alive.
about
Quite
survive.
lucky there.
Well,
But
he's
yeah,
here
just
on the
having the
bottom side.
Patabransi here so he knows that it's clear, it's really good. You can start deploying units for there. Maybe these M84s are going for Delta, which I'd really like to see. And then he just needs to call in some more proletary. Having a nice setup in Delta will actually do a lot of I guess go a long way into stemming his loss of Bravo. But again, like I feel like Nande lost a lot less in points than Ghostie did. It really felt that way.
It did feel that way, but at the same time, if you have a look on the map, the deployments they do actually seem reasonably even in points. So I'm not entirely sure where Nande's points have gone. I think it must be planes. Ghostie looks like he might be able to reclaim this Foxtrot side though, because Nande has been sending these tanks to mid. Whether they're better or worse. He does have one recon tank going down to the bottom side though.
I don't blame him. Like without the forest to the north of Fox, you can't really reinforce this town very well. And Ghostie has all these Mi-17s lying in wait with all this infantry pushing up, because it's so close to his spawn that he will get there so much faster. I'd say Nande probably just wants to set up on his side of Foxtrot. These M84s are actually going for Bravo though. I don't know about this.
Again, I think in this situation, you just try and see what you can get in Delta, because as long as you hold this town, you know, the town in between Bravo and Alpha, the little one on the road. If you hold that, you can defend from Bravo. You know, and then maybe just contest the right-hand edge of Bravo as well. So it really is a case of almost a missed opportunity here from Nande. But I mean, it's very easy to understand how this happens, though.
Yeah,
Sure.
and two M84s pushing up might actually get a lot of work done. These Prisham Kichi and these Proletary, neither of them really have any AP to speak of, so this M84s can really clear these units out fairly easily. Most of these M84 can't really engage 2v1.
None of it gets shot first as well. Oh no, it does get the shot off, and Nande does reverse. That's a bit of a shame because he could have got a free shot off there. The Oreo does take down one of the M84 ANs as well. Is he going to lose this AN? I think he will do, yeah.
Getting stunned by the rockets, the M84 will take it out. Oh, that was really nice from Ghostie. Nice micro with the M84, pulling it back until he knew he could get the free shot off. And really, really nice job. Not even taking a point of damage, 2v1. So yeah, that was really impressive actually.
Well, I think it was Ghostie's micro and it was also Nande making a bit of a weird mistake there. By the way, I still think that he probably shouldn't have had those units in there to begin with, really.
Yeah, I agree. This Conquer squad needs to get into the town in mid. It's a good position for the Conquers to be in, but Nande is looking very, very bare points-wise. I mean, if you look at the map, look at what he has compared to Ghostie. I'm surprised Ghostie hasn't been able to push into Bravo, at least Alpha yet. And I'm really surprised he hasn't sent anything Delta.
He sent literally nothing to Delta. I mean, he does have an MI-17. That's probably not enough.
Especially with this Osa AK moving in, and really, where does Ghostie go from here? Does he just buy quick CVs and capped? Or does he try to push somewhere? I mean, Bravo is kind of iffy, because, I don't know, pushing through this open field with high-value units is always kind of skeptical to me. It always feels like pushing the red side of Bravo is kind of weird. You never really see it happen. What he could do is push Fox, but there is this recon tank here that is kind of being a thorn in his side. The main brunt of his forces are in the north. Maybe he tries to push for Alpha.
I mean, I think if I were in his position, I think I would try and get this town, like, you know, the one we mentioned between Bravo and Alpha. And then from there, maybe try and get something going in Alpha. I mean, if you were Nande though, what would you do if you were in Nando's shoes right now? Because he doesn't seem to have too many options.
Just Delta, because you know the Patabransi is here. You got the Tatar down south that hasn't been killed yet. So I mean, like we said earlier, those two M84s should have gone for Delta to begin with, because he controls the town between Alpha and Delta. So it's not like Ghostie can just move his units from the Bravo forest down south and flank him, right? Because then they just get taken out by this Conkers and this Proletariat squad. By the way, these conkers are in a bad forest. They should be in the town, because these will just get killed by the M84 once they start firing.
I mean, that's the big thing about ATGMs. If they're not inside of a town and you fire, especially with a recon tank as well, you can have a very bad day because the M84 will fire before the missile hits the M84. Almost always. And with 4HE, that's just going to one-shot them out in the open.
Yeah, even if it doesn't, it will be enough to damage the morale significantly. Problem with guided weapons is that your accuracy does drop mid-flight, and if you get stunned mid-flight, it's just going to veer off course. Though this M84 is in a really nice position, and it's honestly gotten so much work done for Ghostie.
It really has. It's I think it's bettered itself up a bit as well. But yeah, definitely a nice M84, a fantastic unit as we've seen. Well, I'm sure everyone's had the misfortune of getting wrecked by an M84 so far if you've been playing against the Yugo deck. This L15M coming in, it's kind of interesting. This L15M seems to be a sort of premier choice for people in the tournament so far playing on Taunt. And I do quite like it for the price, even if it didn't have the cluster bombs, which is a little strange. But oh, it does go down in one shot to the AKM crit though, so it's not there anymore.
Blind bombing strike, that was kind of pointless. I really don't understand what he was trying to achieve with that one.
I mean, there wasn't even a CV though. It was just...
Yeah, it's not like he was trying to build up for a push, because he doesn't really have enough here to make one. Just a strange call. I never like to see people throw bombers away like that, blind bombing runs. But Nande for sure knows Delta is clear now. Look at this. He's got Proletariat on the south side. And he really should, I'd say Madonna next buy, just sit there and then grind it out. I think that's probably the best choice. Madonna in these forests is so good against advancing infantry. And again, in forest, there's nothing better than Madonna. It just kills everything.
It does. The Moderna is absolutely fantastic, and I agree. It would be really nice to see it brought in, because the one thing he's lacking in the center sector is any armor of any real sort of consequence. I mean, these little T-55A recon tanks will actually do a number on the Padabranchi and the Proletari if he's not careful. And Ghostie, I think Ghostie realizes that he's actually left this completely undefended for quite a while, so he's finally sending some units in to try and recapture the forest.
17-minute mark, he finally realizes his 2-pointer might be of concern. He's actually taking the first shot from the Proletariat, no problem. Gets the stun off with the MGs. Actually opting to use the 5-point transport for the Proletariat 90 instead of the 10-point one. I kind of like that, to be honest, because I feel like with these expensive infantry squads, you don't want to waste points on an expensive IFV as well. It seems to me like the perfect mix is cheap transport with good infantry, and then line infantry with the heavy autocannon transport. So I think that's probably the best mix to go with in general.
Yeah, I completely agree. I actually run the same thing. I have my Proletariat in the my 90s in the 5-point and the regulars in the 10-point. I really think the best thing about that is that you get like a nice balance for about the same price. So you get your anti-infantry capability with the base Proletariat and the PBs, and then you get your anti-tank, which is really what the Proletariat 90s are for. They're a very good anti-tank with those 24 AP Apalas launchers.
Nande opting for the 130-point VHOR again. I do really question why he's going for these 130-point foe heavies instead of just investing 30 more points for a Madonna. Not really sure if that's the best call. I mean, it's a good counter to the M84 recon tank, but it's not like he's playing against a mech or moto deck that can't afford super heavy, can't take super heavy, so it does seem like he's kind of skimping where he shouldn't be.
Well, I mean, when you compare the stats of the VHOR to the M84AN, the gun is pretty much the same. I mean, the VHOR gun obviously 1 round a minute better, it's got 1 more AP, but in the grand scheme of things, for 30 more points, you're getting the armor. That's the biggest upgrade in my mind. So what that does mean though is the M84N, being a recon tank, it can actually fire on that VHOR from cover if Nande doesn't have a recon squad handy. So I don't know, I'm not convinced the VHOR is a good buy in any situation, like in this situation, should I say. You know?
Yeah, and it does look like maybe Nande squandered his opportunity in Delta a bit, just giving Ghostie too much time to actually buy units to make this, to plug this gap. Only 2 Padabranci squads left. They will hold out against the vehicles for now, but with the Proletariat from the south moving up, if Nande has some decent So if Ghostie has some decent micro with this T72 and this T55, he can easily clear out the Patabransi. He's even got a hind down back, though it has to be a bit careful with this Sava waiting in tow.
Well, I have to say, I just don't know how Nande's going to win this game because right now it looks like it's going to be a stalemate, honestly, for most of the game. Because this is how we often see games on this map go: is both side sectors are counter-capped. It's very difficult usually to push either one. The Bravo one, there's this massive open field, and the only thing you can really do is like Ghostie's doing, send like a proletariat squad all the way around the forest in the top. And in the bottom side, that's very much the same, where going across the open field is basically suicide, and going across this forest in the south isn't much better either. So really, the option most players tend to go towards is just fighting over Delta or Alpha, pushing back and forth. And right now, Ghostie is definitely getting the upper hand in that situation.
Yeah, definitely. This Vihor isn't gonna do much. Again, if this was a Moderna, the story would be completely different. Nice strike from the Gallop, takes down the M84, might go down to the Osa AKM in return, does get out alive. Nice pickup there from Nande. And
I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. These Patabranchi 90 have held very admirably in this in the mid side even. And now that gives Nanda the opportunity to try and push for these vehicles with the T72 and the OTM60.
it's largely been down to some really superb micro from Nande's part. Sniping a vehicle with the Erics and then just moving the Patabransi back, waiting for the Erics to reload. That one was less well micro, does get stunned out by the T72, misses the second shot and goes down. But this one Patabransi up north might be able to hold long enough, but again, he doesn't really have anything in the way of infantry reinforcing. It's a 4 stack of OTs, but they're way too far behind. And again, a second 130-point VHOR. Really strange.
I don't know, I feel like Nando's always preferred these sort of heavy tanks, not super heavies, but heavy tanks from when I've played against him. He seems to use them quite a bit. So I'm not sure. I don't know, because I've never really been sold on this sort of classification of tank. Because with people buying super heavies so often, all you find is your tank it can't kill the super heavies and it just dies. So I don't know. I'm never really convinced of tanks of this price value, really.
Yeah, these faux super heavies, they fall into this really weird category, like you said. I mean, they're kind of they're an overinvestment for mediums, but then they're an underinvestment for actual heavies. So they're just kind of in this weird place of a third one coming out even. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I guess if you have 3 of them, you might be able to kill a super heavy. I don't know. Oh, you have to remember as well, Ghostie has already lost 2 super heavies this game, so I'm not sure Ghostie's quite happy with how his super heavy micro's been going so far.
That might actually play back to haunt him, Lost 2 super heavies that early in. Probably don't want to invest for a third because I'll just lose it again.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I wonder whether he has the super heavy version of the V or the 170.1. I'd imagine he would do.
In this super heavy micro, I would really be surprised if he didn't.
Yeah, I have seen people not take it though, which is quite strange, and just take the Moderna. I don't agree with it personally, but I have seen people do it.
The Vihor would be the one you skimp on, right? The Moderna's just way too useful in forest fights to really skimp on that one. But yeah, I agree. Definitely, you just want to go in with as many super heavies as humanly possible. But look at this horde of infantry streaming in from Ghostie's spawn into Delta. I don't think this 4 stack of PBs is going to be enough, and the Vihors are nice, but especially against Entente that has all that heavy AP, you can't really forest fight against infantry with tanks that aren't a Moderna.
Well, even if it is the Moderna, the chances are you'll still take a few 24 AP shots to the face, and it really does cause problems. Ghostie has finally managed to clear up Delta. Nando's had a little hold in that for, what, like 15 minutes now, I think.
Ghostie does have a slight point advantage, and again, these early caps coming in from Ghostie are really just kind of deciding the way the match is going, because Nande, again, he's on the back foot and he needs to make something happen.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because when you have the points advantage, the enemy is on them to catch up. It's not on you to do stuff. And obviously, we both said I think playing aggressively is better, but in this situation, if you're going to defend, you might as well defend while you've got a nice points lead going for you.
Yeah. And again, sometimes it's not necessarily about just sitting on your ass and defending, but it's just forcing your opponent into bad engagements and then going on the aggressive push.
We do see a lot of stuff coming into this Bravo Forest from Nande, and honestly, I think if these VHORs don't get taken out by an ATGM plane or something like that, they might have a nice little hold on the Bravo Forest down here. And there's
There's a
some
Conquest
massive
firing
force.
from the town though. Needs to be careful. Does miss though, and it's nearly out of ammo, but these vehicles are quite out in the open. There's a super gallop coming in. Sam 84 could also get a lot of work done side-shotting these vehicles, as they are showing sidearm to the force right now. One goes down to the gallop. Osa AK may take down the gallop in response, does take it down really nice. There was a nice crit coming in from those.
Oh, expert micro from Ghostie losing it to the AK, so the AK runs out of ammo. I'm so impressed. Now these MI17s have free reign.
Take it out. Though the VHOR does take down the recon VHOR in response, Osa AK getting decimated by the Mi-17. And Nande a bit late with the ASF, but this should cover his remaining VHORs.
Well, I'm not sure what this VHOR's doing just out in the open, because it's just getting shot by the Mi-17s.
Oh, the proletariat moving into the town in Alpha might sideshot this VHOR actually.
Oh, it goes
that's
down.
A massive pickup. And this push is getting sent packing home.
Now that is why you don't invest in tanks, or at least kind of heavy tanks, while you're playing against Anton on this map, because the AP is insane. These Proletary 90, just again, 24 AP, side shot will just one-shot a tank of that caliber.
Yeah, and things went from good to terrible for Nande here, even losing his hold on the west side of Alpha. Ghostie could only push this infantry up. There's nothing in Alpha to really stem the tide. There's only this VHOR up north which is damaged and could easily go down to an ATGM plane.
Well, I feel like Nande is, he's probably feeling, yes, I've got that forest back in Bravo, but it's not really going to do much because now Ghostie's going right for the two-pointer. The super gleb from Nande is chilling about here, obviously trying to take down that M84M, but he does have to be careful. This Osa AKM only has 2 shots left though.
Misses 2 shots, so this Gallop is probably going to get fine. Does take 1 shot, but the Osa AK is out of ammo and will evac safely. But that does make it go out of action for a bit, where he really does need it. Ghostie's Proletariat just kind of sitting out in the open. Bit of a miss micro there. He really needs to push. He needs to be decisive with this infantry. Either you want to push it up or you want to unload as soon as possible. And M84 is actually cleaning out the Proletariat because their AP is so bad.
Yeah, well that's the thing about the Proletary really. They only have the rubbish 13 AP law. They're fantastic against infantry, much in the same way that the the base Mott-Schutzen are very good versus infantry. The same sort of thing here. I think Ghostie's in action here is maybe going to cost me a little bit, because this Vidra 2 is going to do some pretty sad damage to these poor PBs, although it does get taken down by the PBs.
Ghostie also making a push happen down south. Nande forced to buy a second Super Gallop. This push, oh, that's nice. Ghostie actually coming in from center down south into Foxtrot. Nice little pincer movement here. Sam 84 is in a great position to start firing upon the support that Nande has, and he should have enough to take this sector, I think.
No, this is honestly beautiful. This is honestly beautiful, because you don't see this very often where, you know, most times people would just try and smash into Alpha and just try and take it with as much as possible. What Ghostie's done is he's turning his position Alpha into a gain in the bottom side, because he's got he's attacking from 3 sides here. It's not very often you get to be this surrounding on a sector. You know, the pressure is just so high on Nande right now. There's nothing he can do in this bottom side.
Yeah, if Ghostie was a bit better with the multitasking, right, he could have killed the Alpha CV on top of this, because especially in a Proletariat just sitting back here, they even spot the Sava, then they're just not moving up. They're not trying to see if they can get further into Alpha than they can, and the opportunity is lost with these OTs moving up. Ghostie coming in with a CV to countercap Alpha will get the countercap on, but he does need some AA in Alpha, and honestly, this M84 down south was a nice move, but he does need a tank in mid, otherwise it's not going to have any support against the units moving up.
It does indeed. I mean, we're just about to see Foxtrot get taken by Ghostie, I think, because once these Proletary 90s get into the little town block, definitely be able to take this. In the mid sector again, yeah, I'm a bit curious as to why he didn't just push up, because, I mean, he's not really got much to lose, because it's not like he has a stronghold on this sector anyway. He's only got 2 weakened infantry squads and 1 Proletariat that's just kind of chilling out with 9 HP just sitting in the open. So, yeah, I've really got to question. I mean, obviously we know why, because, you know, when you're microing another side, it's easy to forget, but a little play like that could have put Nande so much further behind than he actually is right now.
Yeah. And, you know, this V-Horn moving up, it almost looks like Ghostie's going to be cleared out of Alpha, which is actually really bad for him, considering now he's kind of bought the CV for nothing. There's nothing really stopping Nande from easily retaking Alpha, but this, I gotta say, gotta give a shout out to this god M84AN up
Oh,
north.
in North, clearing out all the
Divanek
squads.
on elite veterancy now after taking out two M84ANs, taking out a bunch of stuff from the first push and taking out all the proletary. This is a battle-hardened veteran if I've ever seen one.
Good old Divnich is going to be on the War Memorial for the rest of his days as the hero of the Entente faction. Like you said though, Ghostie, a little confused by some of his choices in Alpha because, I mean, this CV is for nothing now. It's probably going to go down or at the very least get pushed out. And he's just gonna lose the points, basically. It was a waste of points. It's the easiest way to say.
Yeah, CV goes down now. And again, paradoxically, this is switching again because there's nothing in Delta anymore. There's literally nothing in Delta. And now
Well,
they can just push up with these pedos with this remaining V-horse, and you know this proletarian, he can just charge right in, and then he has enough time to get that +3 on Delta, and I think that's what he's doing. He knows he has to. He's basically lost Foxtrot. His push into Bravo did not work, and the Suka Gallop actually takes out the Sava and the AKM. So nice pickups for Nande though.
yeah, I mean, this game has just been. I think this is a good example. If you know, we've said that the best way to play generally is to be quite aggressive. I think, and I think we both agree on that. But you do have to be careful because when you're aggressive and you don't pay the correct amount of attention to your units, and well, what he did here was he diverted his aggression from Alpha to Foxtrot. What that did is left a giant gaping hole in Delta, where he's having to frantically IDK what the fuck is going. Me too, Ghostie. This game made no sense. Well, I think it's really a case of him doing this push onto Foxtrot. He gave up his very strong hold over Alpha. And while the push on Foxtrot was fantastic, you know, it's not always
I
enough.
think it's almost like a sense of him being too clever in a way. Like if he just like played a bit more, I guess,
Standard maybe.
standard or a bit less, you know, a bit less kooky. I don't know, a bit less intelligent even, and just gone for Alpha. He could have, if he didn't take Alpha, he would have at least secured his side of Alpha. He could have had that M84AN recon tank sitting next to his CV, stopping any infantry from pushing up.
Oh, there's also a chem.
Nande's just been sniping AA left and right with the Super Gallop. It's the third AA piece to fall to the Super Gallop now. And
See, that's what you do when you have terrible seed planes. You just use an AT-gem plane. Nice.
oh,
Also,
Miss Micro with the
yeah,
L18 though might go
might
down
go
to
down.
Ghostie's L18. Maybe a trade if he's lucky. Oh wow, that's just I'd be mad if I was Ghostie.
I think I'd be looking for the nearest window and maybe consider jumping out of it if I was Ghostie right now. Because this game was
Pushing up
in his
into
hands.
the God M84AN, gonna die to the horde of bullets from my good friend Divanik.
Divnich. I believe Divnich, you can survive. This guy is the hero of the Entente, and if he goes down, I just don't know what I'll do. I think he's going to escape. I think Ghostie knows that he probably can't win that with only 4 rounds of ammunition left. Yeah, going back to what you're saying, it really is a case of like, I think it might be that Ghostie respected Nande a bit much, if you know what I mean. He thought that pushing into Alpha would never work. He couldn't go all the way because he maybe expected that Nande had stuff there, so he thought, oh, you know what I'll do this clever little Foxtrot. But the truth is that Nande actually didn't have anything there. Super Glad does take down the M84, and actually what's happened now is that he's on the back foot again. He has, Nande actually has kind of given away this a little bit because he's not pushed into Delta. He's just pushed into the Bravo Forest, which is a bit confusing to me.
Nande is trying to recap Foxtrot. I'm not entirely sure how that's gonna go out for him. The MI35 should provide enough cover for this cap to work, but Ghostie will very easily and very clearly see the CV landing, could very easily get a snipe off with a bomber, or even a rocket plane really. 2-stack OSA AKMs coming in for Delta, decent call. He does need to spread out these proletary a bit more though. And I think if I'm Ghostie right now, I just spam infantry into Delta and wait it out.
I'd just like to bring your attention to the fact that the God Emperor Divnich is alive. He survived with 2 rounds of ammunition left and 1 HP. Well, one thing as well is I don't think Nande realizes that Ghostie has this Proletari squad in the top side of Foxtrot. I mean, you think he would because that's where the attack came from, but I mean, I don't see any situation where you'd land a CV like that if you knew they were there, basically.
Yeah, but maybe he just thinks he needs to stem the point bleed. But like instantly, the L15M coming in, and this might not actually get the kill because the L15 doesn't have much in the way of bombs. But Nande not moving a CV is actually gonna go
Oh, he
down.
moves into it.
Complete waste of points there, and yeah, just easily spotted. And maybe he should have done some scouting with this MI35, but he's probably scared that there's AA somewhere in Foxtrot, so he doesn't want to move too far up. These healers are the only thing really keeping this infantry alive, is one squad, or like 1 HP on the Prishman Kichi and then 3 on the Proletary.
Oh
So,
no, Divnich is in danger.
The God Emperor needs to move, or these Patabranci are gonna kill him. No, please.
Don't do this, Divnich. You have so much to live for. A young wife and child. Oh, sorry. A wife and a young child, not a young wife.
He's reversing now.
He is getting out, I think. I think that's going to be enough distance.
The Ergs have a lot of range, my friend. But maybe he can do it. I want to see some smoke come out to protect the God Emperor. I think we can say it's not about points anymore. If the God Emperor dies, then Ghostie's
The game's
lost.
over. Exactly.
Failed. This Gallop coming in.
Oh no!
No.
Well, that's the game for Ghostie, I'm afraid. Ghostie, you're in such a commanding position, but there's no way you're going to win now. Okay, the L15M coming in to bomb the MI35. Not quite going to take it out there, unfortunately. Nande quite accurate on the micro there.
L18 nearly goes down to the AKM, but does survive out. These Super Gallops have done so much work for Nande, though. And Ghostie may end up losing Bravo. He only has 1 squad of Patabranci left. His MI35 could easily provide the support necessary. The Sava needs to be careful because it could easily get run over by these Patabranci squads. Maybe what I like to see from Nande is just like split one of them off and try to move to the town behind the CV.
Yeah, I agree. It's, I mean, if you're Nande, like, why is there another CV coming in? Maybe he's gonna try and countercap Delta, but I don't think he realizes how much is there.
He even calls in a CV for Foxtrot right on top of the Proletariat, so I think he definitely doesn't know that there's a squad here, and this could be devastating for him. Losing 2 CVs to the same Proletariat, that'd just be nasty. He is pushing Delta though, and this could work out because although Ghostie has a lot of Proletariat, none of them are Proletariat 90, so this recon tank can get a lot of work done.
I mean, he has to win with these T-72s. If he can micro them correctly, that, you know, at this sort of range, the T-72s will be able to absolutely maul the M84. Super Gleb though coming in again, but going down to the AKMs.
And I think if Ghostie here, I reroute these units. Yeah, he is rerouting the units he was sending for Bravo into Delta. I think he can live with a -1. Actually, no, not even, because he has Foxtrot completely capped. So if he can lose Bravo, fine. That's not a massive deal. Semi-17 might actually provide a lot of decent delaying against these Patabranci as well. Really nice from the Semi-17 here.
Well, have a look around their Echo.
Echo.
The blue spawn. There's a hero coming in. I wonder if this one's called Bleach by any chance.
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately not. He's called Concha. And if this can kill the Ghostie CV,
save the day there, because the Prince Communici actually would lose to the CV 1 versus 5 men. But if the Patabranci were taken out by the last burst from the MI17, could have actually saved Bravo, but that isn't going to be the case. The reinforcements even going down to the MI17 here. M36 is taking out the OSA AKs. That's not good at all.
Ghostie realizes again. Have a look at the CV in the bottom side. He knows what's going to happen to it.
LMAO.
This poor old Mix.
Proletariat keep missing though.
There we go. Finally gets it.
On like the 4th shot. But honestly, despite all of this, Ghostie looks okay.
I think it would take a miracle for Ghostie to not win this game right now, because, you know, just in the center sector, Nande can decap it, but that's a +2 lead for 4 minutes. I don't think that would be enough at all. I think he would actually have to kill an absolute ton of stuff to win this game for Nande.
Madonna coming in from Ghosty. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Generally, Madonna I'd say is a decent call, but with these Super Gallops basically uncontested in the air and nothing else in Delta at all, I think he might have been better served buying some cheap infantry. But the
Oh,
CV,
the
the
CV. It's
CV
gonna
and
go down to the
Echo.
hero, I think. Oh, I
One
don't know.
HP left. No, but it can use the Browning. It doesn't need the rocket pods. The Browning should be
Oh,
enough to
but
get the
does
job done.
Nande realize this? I mean, the Super Gleb is gonna kill it, I think. Yeah, there we go. Super Gleb's gonna take the
Yeah,
CV down.
nice. That's massive. Ghosty needs to move his CV from Delta now. That's going to be a +3 for Nande. And then even after that, he's going to need to buy a second CV from for Delta just to get back to the point parity. And I think that's enough. Nande had a +5 now, capping Delta.
This is
This
okay.
may be the miracle.
This happened because Divnich died. I'm calling it. It's the only explanation. Um,
Divnich died. Ghosty's lost all his fighting will. Is MI-17 even coming into Echo, but probably will go down to the autocannon from the Madonna.
this
Ghosty,
is not good for Ghosty. Like,
Ghosty, where did it all go wrong?
I mean, it's not over yet. Nande's still only on a +4. I mean, still only a +4. Um, a lot of bombers coming in for Nande on this top side. I wonder if he's going to try and snipe the home CV again, which because I don't know what else they're going to do. This Moderna should be able to kill this M84AN, hopefully.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind the Super Gallops are still alive. As soon as the Super Gallops rearmed, it does look like they're going for the Echo CV. Ghosty forced to move back. Oh, they're actually going for the Madonna. Remember, these bombs do have stuff.
That might kill it if it runs into it. Oh, Ghosty. Ghosty, no.
Okay, this is done. Ghosty might actually lose this now.
Clown game.
Clown game.
It's all I can say. This is I don't understand how Ghosty can go from this position. How he's in this position. I just don't understand. And now he's literally he's got nothing here. He's got nothing to stop these transports just running through.
Could even he could even lose all. He's got two CVs sitting in Echo, nothing else. He's kept on being forced to buy Heinz just to stop these transports from moving in. Nande on a +4 with 1 minute. That's definitely enough for a draw, if nothing else. But that could
Yeah,
actually be a win.
I don't know. I don't think it'll be a win with just 1 minute left. I don't think that's possible. But I think a draw is actually very probable here. I mean, then again, if Ghosty can get into Delta with this CV, oh, never mind. I say that there's more of these helicopters coming in here, gonna ruin Ghosty's
The
day.
Harris will spot for the bombers as well, so this could actually get a number on the CV here. One goes down to the Sava. Ghosty moving everything here down south up north and takes out the
Oh
CV.
my
No
god.
way for a win now. This CV in Echo might even die to the Hera here. The Mi-25s are charging too far up. They can't move back quick enough. The CV is probably gonna go down.
I don't know about going down. Actually, I don't know. It is zero armor, isn't it? It's a zero armor little 5 HP truck. This might die to the Browning.
1 HP. The Hinds are trying their
Oh,
best, and they do manage
it
to
does,
take
but this
down.
isn't enough though. Nando's gonna draw. I think this is gonna be a draw with 17 seconds.
Oh
I'm
my
telling you,
god.
if Divnich survived, this would have never happened under his watch. You know, it would have never
Divnich
happened.
would have never let Delta fall.
Would have never ever let Delta fall.
I think Ghosty, yeah, like you said, Ghosty lost this the moment Divnich fell. And Clown Games aside, GG is going to be a draw. Nande actually coming ahead in destruction points. And a bit of a disparity here, actually. We see Ghosty with 3770 kills, but Nande with 380 losses. So a bit of friendly fire seemed to happen in this game.
Yeah, probably maybe some bombs on mortars or something like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters. That's a great example of when a desperation play works because someone didn't buy base A. It really is. I mean,
I feel like it went wrong in so many more places than just base A, though.
that's true, but that
Like,
didn't help. It didn't help. We'll
no,
put it that way.
it did not help.
Because
Ghosty,
I think if Ghosty didn't have to buy another CV, if he could have just kept the CV in his 2-pointer, he could have spent that 120 points on just infantry, just to hold it off until the end of the game, maybe.
yeah, that was just sealed the moment the Madonna fell, and Ghostie, I think really Ghostie threw that one away. It was looking fairly even for most of it, but Ghostie was always looking ahead. And then Ghostie, I think, over ambitious into Nande's 1-pointer. If he just played it safe on the 2-pointer, just get some paddles there, get a recon tank there, get some AA behind your CV, countercap it, save for a Moderna or a Vihor, and then just force Nande to attack into you. And then that's such a hard engagement for Nande to take too. Like attacking into that 2-pointer when you've lost the south side is not easy. It's just Ghosty being too clever there and just leaving himself completely open twice even. He left himself open on the 2-pointer at the start of the match and then again at the end of the match, and I think it was just unnecessary.
I agree. I think it was really fun to watch, but it was one of those games where I think Nande might have won cleanly if he had enough time, maybe. But he didn't, so he had to take some very extreme extreme actions right there. Had to go for the CV snipes, and he did it. He managed to pull it off. I'm very surprised that happened. And I'm sure Ghostie is kicking himself repeatedly for this one because this was honestly for most of this game, like we said, he was ahead. You know, this was his game to lose, and he lost it in a very well, not lost, but he drew it in a very spectacular fashion.
Yeah, definitely so. Ghosty's still in a decent position with match point though, 1.5 to Nande's 0.5. That does mean Nande has to win the third match to even stay into this tournament. So Ghosty can still kind of bank on his first win, though he could have just ended the series right here. I feel like definitely a lost opportunity. Like you said, Nande would have won if he had maybe 5-10 more minutes, but you got to keep in mind it's 40 minutes for a reason, and the time limit definitely does play in the risks players take and how they approach the match. So I don't know. I feel like Nande recovered well. I definitely say that, and he banked on Ghosty's mistakes. The vehicles didn't really achieve him much, but the push into mid was good. The CV buys for the south side was a bit of a mistake, but honestly, like when things get that intense, you can overlook things. I don't blame him too much for that one.
I mean, I think if I'm gonna, apart from obviously Divnich dying, that was the main cause of his draw for Ghosty. I think when he did that push into Foxtrot, where he took the resources away from mid, don't get me wrong, it was a beautiful push. It was really nice, but he left such a gaping gap in his defenses. And like we said as well, he could have literally just building hopped that one squad of Specialny up and killed the CV. There was nothing there. And I think, like you said, I think he was trying to be a bit clever with sort of a nice little flanking play, and it was very nice. But if you're doing it at the cost of losing all your forces in enemy 2-pointer and then losing your 2-pointer as well, I'm not really sure it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely agree though. Uh, it's strange, right? Because I don't know. Both players had really strange openers. Nande with the 4 Specialny and the MI-17s, and Ghosty somehow losing 2 Modernas to 4 Specialny. Just, oh, that miss micro was so painful to watch. If people don't understand what happened there, right? Ghosty was attack moving his Moderna. Then it got an optical failure. So what happens there is that your tank can't actually see anything, but it still has the attack move order, and the attack move order is just move until you see something and then fire on it. But it can't see anything, so it just keeps moving into the Specialini that just keep taking pot shots at it. And Ghosty didn't notice, he wasn't paying attention, and that was just that was painful.
Otherwise known
I've never
as
seen something so painful.
every game with Ghosty is a clown game.
Well, anyways, this will be the second match between Nande and Ghosty. First of the clown games, maybe not the last. We will see in the third match, which will be played on Hell is a Very Small Place, I believe.
I think so too, so you guys have that to look forward to. So thank you all for watching, and we hope you tune into the next one. Goodbye.
See ya.